Hello, today we'll be discussing the evolution and Christianization of gold glass from the more pagan Roman Empire to the more Christian Roman Empire. Now to start off, the technique of gold glass, or otherwise called gilded glass, was invented in Hellenistic ancient Greece, the time between Alexander the Great's death to the annexation of Greece by ancient Rome. The Hellenistic period saw Greek culture spreading fast throughout the Mediterranean, where in Alexandria, Egypt, gold glass became very prominent under the Ptolemaic dynasty. The technique of gold glass involved the placing of a gold leaf on a transparent glass, where an artist would then etch a design with a needle to then sandwich that design with another piece of glass and apply an adhesive. Here we have our first evolution of gold glass, a highly detailed portrait of Roman spouses accompanied by a written toast in Greek, all dating back to the 3rd century AD and found in a cemetery in Rome. The jagged edges provide evidence that this portrait was not alone, but cut off the bottom of a dish. The reason for this was that it was a common tradition in ancient Rome to present as gifts dishes or cups featuring a gold leaf design of the individuals receiving said gifts. Now this tradition of gift-giving gold glass was a tradition borrowed from the ancient Greeks by the Romans, like many other borrowed Greco-Roman art styles. The Romans evolved this to include portraits of people through a naturalistic art style, and when said people died, the portrait were then cut off to be placed in the mortar of the graves as an identifier or ornament. Pagan symbols also became a common occurrence in Roman gold glass, as seen with this iconography of a highly detailed woman clad in a helm and armor holding a spear, representing the personification of Rome, the eternal city. This piece was found quite recently in Rome, where a metro subway line was being built, and was dated back to the start of the 4th century AD by archaeologist Simona Moretta. This piece was cut off the bottom of a cup, likely given as a gift, but when broken was cut off and hung up as for decoration or worship. This gold glass shows how, though Christianity was becoming quite prominent, its illegality still proved as a suppressant of Christian symbology in Roman art. But this would quite reverse rapidly throughout the later half of the 4th century AD. The past pieces we viewed kept to the common themes of secular or pagan imagery, along with a very realistic style commonly linked to ancient Greek and Roman culture. But this next piece really shows the final evolution and Christianization of this art form. Featured here is a gold glass piece cut off the bottom of a dish, found in an unidentified cemetery in Rome and dating back to the second half of the 4th generation AD. This gold glass piece contains iconography of St. Peter and Paul facing one another with a crown above them, an imagery that is quite commonly found through many other gold glasses found in Rome, as both saints became very loved and popularized through their martyrdoms. Now this gold glass features a slightly more ornate border, while the rest of the artwork is notably less detailed compared to the previous pieces, which was a purposeful decision and not a loss of progress, as early Christians wanted to deviate from the naturalism art as that became more associated with Roman emperors and pagan deities, so they opted for more abstract forms of art. But more importantly, whereas past pieces were either marking graves, decorations, or imagery of pagan deities, this piece signifies the transition to gold glass being a talisman for graves. As the Roman Empire went through the 4th generation AD and became more Christian through acts like Constantine's Edict of Milan in 313 AD, these previously grave markers and pagan symbologies transitioned more and more into Christian talismans, where scenes of St. Peter and Paul, St. Agnes, or the rising of Lazarus, all used in the belief that they would ward off evil spirits and guide the dead to heaven. This evolution of gold glass in the Roman Empire is just one of the many Christianizations of Roman art, but a very great one at showing the compounding effects of past cultures' influences in the furthering of art, as shown from the progress of gold glass, from ancient Greek to ancient Roman to early Christian.